Welcome back to the channel.
For decades, the defining image of malnutrition in India was stark and singular: profound, systemic caloric starvation. Today, extreme macronutrient starvation has steeply declined, but the human body is failing in a different way. This chart from the 2019 Comprehensive National Nutrition Survey plots a striking contradiction. Anemia rates among children sit stubbornly high at nearly 41%. At the exact same time, the trend line for overweight and obesity is accelerating sharply. Caloric sufficiency no longer guarantees cellular sufficiency. Large segments of the population are simultaneously overfed and starving. The most common way to describe anemia is a simple lack of blood. Clinically, that simple definition is completely useless. It is more accurate to view the human body as a complex manufacturing supply chain. The bone marrow operates as the primary factory, continuously churning out thousands of identical, highly specialized red blood cells every second. When this factory fails, the clinical baseline we look at is a drop in hemoglobin, typically falling below 13 grams per deciliter for men and 12 for women. To actually treat this, a clinician cannot just hand out generic blood-building supplements. They have to isolate the precise point of failure within that cellular supply chain. They must read the physical architecture of the failing blood cell itself to find the systemic error. This clinical flowchart maps the failure points. A falling red blood cell count stems from one of three root causes: factory production failure, premature destruction, or systemic leaks through hemorrhage. To identify a nutritional deficit, clinicians zero in on the decreased production branch. To navigate, they rely on a crucial metric: mean corpuscular volume, or MCV. This measures the physical size of the red blood cells in femtoliters. The physical dimensions of the red blood cells serve as a direct diagnostic map to the exact biochemical nutrient the patient is missing. At the lower end of the spectrum is microcytic anemia, where the MCV drops below 80 femtoliters. Under a microscope, the cell shrinks and turns pale, displaying an enlarged white central ring. This happens because of a hemoglobin synthesis failure caused by iron deficiency. The cell attempts to build its internal structure, runs out of raw materials, and divides prematurely into smaller, inadequate copies. The first-line targeted therapy is simple: oral iron combined with folic acid, usually prescribed as ferrous ascorbate. For severe hemoglobin drops, clinicians bypass gut absorption entirely, administering intravenous iron, like ferric carbomaltose, directly into the bloodstream. The microcytic cell shrinks because it literally lacks the heavy iron raw materials required to fill its own interior. Contrast that with the opposite extreme of the clinical scale: macrocytic or megaloblastic anemia, where the MCV exceeds 100 femtoliters. This is a failure of DNA synthesis, triggered by a severe lack of vitamin B12 or folic acid. The cell strains to split into two, fails, and swells into a fragile, oversized sphere. Because this is a failure at the DNA level, the clinical symptoms expand far beyond physical fatigue. Patients often experience severe neurological issues, including numbness, tingling, and difficulty walking. The pharmacological treatment requires direct, aggressive supplementation. This means methylcobalamin, vitamin B12, administered via injection, paired with a prolonged oral course of folic acid. The macrocytic cell grows massive because it has the physical raw materials to expand, but lacks the basic DNA blueprints required to divide. In the middle ground sits normocytic anemia. Here, the MCV rests in the normal 80 to 100 range, but total production has halted. This often points to the kidneys. In conditions like chronic kidney disease, the kidney stops producing erythropoietin, or EPO, the hormone that signals the marrow to work. The treatment requires exogenous EPO injections. Looking back at the main diagnostic flowchart, there is a second root cause for a falling count: increased destruction, known clinically as hemolytic anemia. Here, external forces prematurely destroy healthy cells well before their normal 120-day lifespan. This is driven by autoimmune conditions or vector-borne parasitic infections like malaria. Managing hemolysis requires immune-suppressing steroids like prednisolone to halt the destruction, alongside heavy doses of folate to aid the bone marrow in rapid regeneration. Even a perfectly constructed cell will fail if the systemic environment actively destroys it or simply forgets to order its creation. On an individual level, this clinical algorithm works perfectly. Iron pills and B12 injections successfully manage acute crises. But this raises a glaring public health question. If the biochemical mechanics are so well understood, why does nearly half the population still suffer from these specific microcytic and macrocytic failures? To find the answer, we have to look at the epidemiological data tracked by authorities like the Indian Council of Medical Research. What their data reveals is that pharmacology is merely an acute patch for a chronic population-level architectural failure in how people eat. This graphic is the ICMR's My Plate for the Day, establishing a biological baseline for nutritional needs. Contrast this ideal with modern consumption. Today, 70% of daily energy in India is sourced solely from refined cereals, actively crowding out the necessary diversity. This massive cereal dominance actively starves the population of the exact micronutrients, the iron, the B12, and the folate, required for healthy erythropoiesis. Resolving the underlying crisis requires moving away from a diet obsessed with sheer caloric volume and shifting toward a diverse, micronutrient-dense food matrix. Anemia is the microscopic manifestation of a macro-level dietary failure. You cannot build a resilient cell without supplying the proper architectural materials.
Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe.